guys? You're watching The Uppercut with Bees Boxing. Subject for today, Canelo Alvarez, guilty or not? Personally, I think this is just suspect. Was a fan of Canelo, and still am a fan of his fighting style, very engaging and exciting fighter. But I just think the circumstances are just suspect. Not only is he one of the biggest earners in the sport, and one of the faces of the sport, but Chapo, his coach, was a butcher by trade, knows how to deal with the meat market and the situation in Mexico with the meat contamination. Legends like Eric Morales and others have been caught before. No reason why you wouldn't be a little bit more careful, especially when you're a multi-millionaire. Also, the problem I've got is people like Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith, basically just covering for him, saying that they don't care what the situation is, they just want the fight. I don't think it's a good way to handle the situation for the sport. In this interview, the lady was the only person who had any common sense and suggested, well, why didn't you just import meat, or why didn't you just eat organic meat? Which makes perfect sense to me, you know. You're not short on money, wouldn't be a problem at all. Your coach has links to the meat trade. What is the issue? It's not like you would just all of a sudden forget this when you've got so much to lose by coming up with, you know, contaminated results. Just doesn't make any sense at all to me. Despite the situation, it looks like the fight's going to go ahead as planned. It's not really a stance I agree with, considering how dangerous the sport is already without the use of performance enhancing drugs. I don't think anybody should be protected in any way, shape or form when it comes to situations like this. Also, I'll be rooting for Triple G, as I feel he won the first fight 7-5 quite comfortably. Did the more consistent work, ring generalship. Canelo had a good start, landed some good eye-catching combinations, but he fought in spurts, showed times where he seemed to fatigue, and ended up backpedaling after the consistent pressure applied by Triple G. I think the fight's going to be an eventful one. I think it will be a bit more exciting than the first, but I'm rooting for Triple G. I just think that he's a good ambassador for the sport. Very quiet, very old school in his approach, very blue collar approach to his fights. Likes to get stuck in, work behind the jab, and as you can see in some of these shots here, he lands some very nice combinations himself. Took Canelo's biggest, best punches, didn't blink, and just kept coming, applying that pressure. So yeah, obviously there's a lot of controversy surrounding the event, but obviously millions of people are going to tune in to see what happens between the two warriors. My vote's for Triple G. I'm hoping that he has a more definitive win over Canelo Alvarez. Please like and subscribe. Peace.